Well, we've had a good start to 2013. Production has turned upward, and we've already secured 2 new installations. The production is up because of the ramp-up of the VM Motori V6 diesel engine for the Jeep and Ram pickup applications in the US. The annualized production from the VM Motori program was more than 100,000 per year in March. And that's partly pipe filling, so we'll have to see the steady state run rate when they come to showroom later in the year. We're excited to see the take rates, but we're equally excited to see the reaction from Ford and GM to Chrysler's Diesel Challenge. The Navistar production also resumed in January. Again, that's partly pipe filling, and we'll need to wait until the second half to see the steady state run rate. We understand now that you can purchase the engine in vehicles, but the real start of sales is targeted for June. So again, we'll know the steady state run rate later in the year. The installation activity has also been good. Already in the first quarter, we've secured 2 installations. The European commercial vehicle installation is now complete, and we'll start to see a production contribution from that already in the second quarter. And just last week, we announced a new installation at the University of Alabama, and that provides another reinforcement of the need for CGI in truck engines. And our largest ever installation, which we announced in fourth quarter 2012, is now underway in Mexico. Our engineers are on site, and when we finish the installation, that will trigger the remaining payments, which will help 2013 cash flow. So it's a good start to the year, and for those of us inside the company, it feels like a better place than the second half of 2012. We've got a lot of different legs to stand on for our near-term growth. There's the petrol engine, where the pre-production is underway. Foundry start of production will be later this year, and the foundry SOP is usually about 6 months before showroom. So we're waiting and interested to learn about the OEM's announcement plans. But when they do announce, we're confident that it will make a real splash in the industry for package size, for power to weight ratio, and also for refinement, the smoothness and quietness of the engine. It's another example where we're interested to see the volume and the ramp up, but even more excited to watch the follower reaction from this first high volume petrol engine. Second opportunity for growth is of course diesel breakthrough in America. We'll get the incremental volumes from the Jeep and the Ram program, but we're even more interested to see the follower reaction. Pickup owners, particularly in the US, are very loyal, but this first diesel offering can motivate a change of brand. So we know that Ford and General Motors are watching very closely, and it's really interesting for us to see how they respond. We also have growth potential for commercial vehicles. In the near term, we have the incremental volume from Navistar, and from the European OEM installation, as I mentioned in the first question, we'll start to see a contribution to series production already in the second quarter. But we've only scratched the surface of the commercial vehicle opportunity. There's a real need for stronger materials, and we see this with the new installations, with the new engine programs, and also with the US Department of Energy funding for the new material development project with Caterpillar and the University of Alabama. We've also got near-term growth opportunity from new installations. We've had a good start with 2 installations already in the first quarter, and we have ongoing discussions for more installation opportunities, so I'm sure that we'll have more installations during the year. The installations give an upfront revenue, but more importantly, they lock the future series production into the SinterCast camp, and that's core to the strategy. It gives us an opportunity to grow. Beyond these CGI growth opportunities, we also have the introduction of the ductile iron technology, and we're just preparing now to take the next step with the introduction of the ductile iron technology, and this will also give us another leg to stand on. Well, generally, I think we have a good track record at meeting our targets. In 2002, we said we would have our first full year cash flow break even in 2006, and we did. In 2001, we presented the 5 waves and the 2 extra sectors for non-block and head, automotive and industrial power. And now we've secured production commitments in 6 of the 7 categories. We've consistently met our installation targets that we present at the AGM, and we've met our targets for launching new products and new technology upgrades. But it is true that we haven't been able to meet the big target of our rolling 5-year production outlook. Current production is 1.3 million engine equivalents. That's down from our peak in early 2012 of 1.6 million. At the AGM last year, I said that the mature volume of the current production programs was something more than 2 million, and that's still true. So that difference, the remaining 2.5 million that gets us from the mature volume of the current programs up to the 4.65 million pool, those are all still in development. Some of them are close, for example, the petrol engine program. Some of them are early in the process. Some new programs constantly come in, and unfortunately some of the active programs also drop out. From an external perspective, I can understand that it may appear that the number has been flat or indeed even gone down, but we took a hit from the economy in 2008-2009 where we lost over 1 million engine equivalents, and again 2012 was difficult. And so internally, I think we've done quite well to motivate new programs to be able to maintain that 4.6 million number. The 4.65 million engine equivalents that we publish in the report is the market opportunity in the 5-year horizon. So that's currently the annualized volume in the second quarter of 2018. With the second quarter report that we'll publish in August, that will move to the third quarter of 2018. And the main reason that we don't change it quarter to quarter is that we simply can't see the difference between 2Q18 and 3Q18 clearly enough to justify a change with any credibility. Even the OEMs can't see what the volumes will be in 2018. Of course, we expect that the volume will grow each year, but until we reach closer to the numbers and until we're closer to be able to see the actual volumes, we don't want to just put an arbitrary increase of X% per year. The number that we published is based on our forecast, and that's a list of every known program with the start of production date, the volume, and a probability factor. And that's just the number that comes out the bottom of the table. So the spirit of it is that 4.65 million is a big number. It shows that there's a lot of activity out there and that we believe in the growth that will get us into that area within a 5-year period. The University of Alabama installation was motivated by a U.S. government project funded by the Department of Energy to improve fuel economy and to improve engine performance. And this shows that both government and industry are continually pushing to get more from less, more performance, smaller engine. And even more importantly, it shows that CGI is on the radar as a key contributor to achieve these goals. About a year ago, we were approached by 3 different consortiums to participate in proposals for the DOE funding. And eventually the Caterpillar proposal won. So CAT now contracts the University of Alabama to produce the samples, and SinterCast provides the control technology for the work in the laboratory at UAB. The University of Alabama has a long history and an international reputation and respect for metallurgy and cast iron process control. We've worked with them in the past in their own labs at the university and also in collaborative research with US foundries. So we have a really good rapport, and we're pleased that they rely on our technology. We will install the mini system this summer. We'll give training, and then we'll participate in the review group working together with CAT and UAB throughout the 3-year duration of the project. Overall, it's a wonderful endorsement from the industry, from academia, and from the government in the importance of CGI. Well, ductile iron is a new arena for SinterCast. It's still thermal analysis, and it's still cast iron solidification and process control. So it's all of the things that we do, but it's a new application, and it's a new group of target foundries. Generally, the ductile iron foundries don't do cylinder blocks and heads, and the cylinder block and head foundries specialize in gray iron, so they don't do ductile. So it's an entirely new target audience for us. But we enter this new arena with a strong respect and reputation for what we've done on the CGI side. We first disclosed our ductile iron development at the GIFA World Foundry Expo back in June of 2011. And now we're going to present the results of that development at the Ductile Iron Society meeting in Indianapolis in June. And it's a great venue for us. As part of the agenda, there will be a tour of the Pure Power Technologies foundry. And in the tour, the delegates will see the SinterCast technology in production of CGI. The development has become quite intense lately. We currently have 2 engineers in Asia supporting 2 different trials. So we're demonstrating the technology and helping the foundries solve their specific problems. We're also using the opportunity of different conditions to fine-tune the technology. And we'll use these 2 Asian trials as case studies for our presentation in Indianapolis. So we've had a clear program for the development. We gauged the interest 2 years ago at GIFA. We then had a phase of internal development. We moved on to field trials. And now we're ready for the introduction and to establish reference customers. At the root of the technology is that we're going to provide a more accurate measurement to help the foundries see into and better understand their iron. But we're interested to see how the foundries will use the technology. You know, some may use it for process control, some for quality control, some even for spot testing when they have problems. And some may also ask SinterCast to come into the foundry and to troubleshoot as an engineering consultancy. So clearly the technology and the product and the application will evolve, but we're really excited to support the market development and to introduce the technology in June.